Good morning, guys. It's Jono here. We thought we'd take the 3 minutes that we've got today to address the market sell-off last week and our thoughts on it, and our expectations perhaps for markets in light of the virus. So some context on where we've come from. Off all-time highs, markets across the world with today's falls captured. We're down between 10 and 14%. The Aussie market's done better in local currency terms, about 5 to 6% down. But with the currency fall to a decade low that we've seen this morning, our markets are down about 14% or just shy of that in US dollar terms. We're being affected on the currency side of things because of our heavy export exposure, about a third of our exports into China, which is still very idle at the moment, but also to the foreign capital that comes into this country from Chinese nationals and dual citizens. Bond yields incredibly across the world are record lows. US 10-year yields at 1.15% is a record low seen on Friday. Australian 10-year government bond yields at 0.7%. This morning, we're probably going to get a rate cut from the RBA tomorrow. Whether it matters or not remains to be seen. So there's a lot of pressure and a big move for safe haven assets. High yields have spread out as well quite significantly. But in the context of other sell-offs, it feels like we're only 80% of the way there. And equally too, when we get to the lows, it probably takes us between 4 and 8 weeks for markets to settle. So we're not jumping in, telling everybody to buy the market at this point in time. Equally too, there are some risks that the virus persists longer than we expect and that it actually proves to be the trigger point for a global recession. Now, that's a really tough thing to call, but there are some creeping concerns given it's a virus and it's very hard to control. And equally too, it's questionable whether or not interest rate cuts will be able to re-stimulate the economy. It's certainly interest rate cuts aren't going to get people back to work, aren't going to supply inventory into desperate supply chains at the moment. Interest rate cuts aren't going to get people travelling either. So it is a bit of an unknown. Fortunately, our portfolios have been holding cash for the better part of 3 or 4 months. We made some small acquisitions late last week, but very small. Probably spent about 25% of the cash we potentially can put to work. And we think the opportunities will present themselves. But as I say, markets hate uncertainty. And this virus is desperately uncertain. And it feels like, in the United States at least, that it was only in the last week that it started to become an issue. And again, if you follow the Google search trends, you'll see that coronavirus as a search topic jumped 4-fold last week. I'd encourage everyone to watch traffic congestion numbers in China. Again, we've had 2 months effectively of the virus in China and there's not been a material recovery whatsoever. Traffic congestion in Beijing and Shanghai during the week is still significantly down on the average from last year, and nobody is doing anything on weekends. So for the time being, I think we want to sit on our hands. There'll be selective opportunities, we hope. Fortunately, as I say, because portfolios have been quite defensively positioned, we think we're in a good spot to spend some money as the opportunities arise, but we don't want to be the first person doing so. Any questions, again, please give us a call, and we hope you have a great week. Thanks.